Can Matas Buzelis do something that has not been done since Derrick Rose did it in 2009? And that is win the Rookie of the Year award. We're going to be talking about what that would mean for the Chicago Bulls and what this would mean for Matas Buzelis. This is your host, Rico Greenhowe, and this is another episode of Bulls Digest. Before we jump into it, I want to let you know that 76.5% of you that watch the videos are not subscribed to the channel. Make sure you mash that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with the latest news and happenings around your Chicago Bulls. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the hot topic of the day, which is can Matas Buzelis win the Rookie of the Year award? All right, so I think it is quite possible that he can do so. I think that really what it's going to come down to is what type of usage does Matas Buzelis have, which is why I think it's ultra important to see, is he going to start? Is he coming off the bench? Is he the first person off the bench? Is he buried on the bench? I think that those are going to be factors that are going to probably shift the favors to you either winning it or losing the Rookie of the Year award. And so we're going to start off with what Sam Smith had to say. He had already put out an article where he was talking about Matas Buzelis and his possibility of going ahead and starting. Well, he goes ahead and breaks down his top rookies of this class, and here's what he had to say. So he's thinking that Matas Buzelis would be the top in this rookie class. He feels like Reed Sheppard would be next, then it would be Steven Castle, then Dalton Knecht, then Bub Carrington. He feels like the honorable mentions would be Terrence Shannon Jr., and then it would be Khalil Ware, and then it would be Trey Alexander. All right, so starting off with what he had to say, I think that he left Zach Edey off, all right? And I know that Zach Edey only played about a game or two in the Summer League, but I will say that he looked pretty good in his games that he did play in the Summer League before he went down with some ankle injuries. And he showed that he could block some shots. He showed that he's much quicker than perhaps he showed in college. So it looks like he's been working on that. And I think that his jump hook is definitely going to be a factor at the next level. You pair that with the fact that he has a great guard in John Morant if he can stay healthy and stay on the court. And so then that's going to help him out a lot. I think that pick and roll is going to be pretty scary with Zach Edey there. I think that he's going to be an absolute rim protector. He's already got players around him that will stretch the floor, like Desmond Bane. He's got Marcus Smart. He's got Jaren Jackson Jr. So he's going into a pretty good situation, and I think that he absolutely can start. And I think he could, because I'm thinking of when Steven Adams was there. He absolutely had a pretty good season or two when he was with the Memphis Grizzlies when he was healthy. And so I think that if Zach Edey can stay healthy, then absolutely I think that he might be, in fact, one of the top favors to go ahead and get the Rookie of the Year award. Now, with that being said, looking back at some of the names on the list, he did talk about Reed Sheppard, and I think that Reed Sheppard had a great summer league. He absolutely showed us that he can score the basketball for sure, and he reminds me a lot of Devin Booker for the Phoenix Suns when he came out of Kentucky. I didn't know his offensive bag was that deep until he started in the NBA, and sometimes that happens to players when they get out of the college system. They just take off, and I think that Reed Sheppard is going to have some success. I think the real issue there is what is the usage going to look like, because there are guards that are in front of him. I'm not sure if he's just going to take over the starting point guard position from Fred VanVleet. Like, that's going to be interesting. And so they've already got some pieces out there in Houston ahead of him, and I just can't see him just coming in and commanding a starting role like that. And also too, just like a lot of people are saying in the comments, and if you've looked at these games, it is just Summer League, so you're getting just a small sample size. Now, Steven Castle, I think that, again, here's another rookie that he's shown some promise, but you think about it, I think that they're looking for him to be a little bit more of a point guard. Right now, he has Chris Paul in front of him to help out Wemby. So, I think that they're going to use him. It's just what, again, is the usage rate. Dalton Knecht, I think, is going to have some moments with the Lakers. I don't know if the Lakers necessarily use rookies the way that you would like them to use, because looking back at what they did with Austin Reeves, I think he should have got some more playing time. Hopefully Dalton Knecht gets some more playing time. I think that he's been heavily disrespected. I think that there has not been enough coverage around him, and I think he's looked really good in the summer league. And for a player that has had like some questionable I guess defense was the questionable thing about Dalton Knecht. I haven't necessarily saw that. And I think that because he has gone under the radar, I think that Dalton Knecht could have a sneaky good season if the Lakers use him correctly. But again, he's got LeBron, he's got D'Angelo Russell out there, he's got Austin Reeves, they still got Hachimura, so that's going to be interesting. Plus you have a rookie coach as well. So again, we're talking about the usage rate here. And so that brings me to the next portion of the video, and we're going to be looking at something that was posted on Bleacher Report where they talk about all the first round players, and they talk about, should you start them? Should you put them on the bench? Should you put them in the G League, right? And so we're going to be focusing on what they had to say, mainly around Matas Buzelis. And I think that this is a very important point when we start to think about, okay, could he be the rookie of the year? Because he's absolutely shown that he's NBA ready. And I think that this is something that was talked about yesterday, that we haven't had a player kind of look this NBA ready since Derrick Rose. And so look, so this is the article. You can find this on Bleacher Report. And this is what it had to say about Matas Buzelis. It talks about him being a rookie, and it's going to be a little bit of just a tough prediction right now because you still have Zach LaVine on the roster. They're suggesting that Chicago get rid of him for 50 cents on the dollar at this point in time, so you can go ahead and you can prioritize this development of the youth movement and go ahead and go with guys like Matas Buzelis. But they're saying he would receive a balanced mix of looks, playing on and off the ball between Kobe White and Patrick Williams. He's currently great at handling the basketball. He's already flashed some glimpses, and he's done some things in the summer league. So we definitely know that he's absolutely shown some flashes, and he's looked pretty good. Now, the one thing that they do talk about here is that with LaVine staying, this would mean that he's going to play the small forward. Josh Giddey is going to be pushing White to the 2, so the 2 guard there, and he's saying that the rookie Buzelis won't earn starts over the re-signed Patrick Williams at the 4. Now, I think that that is a terrific point, and I think some people have also said this in the comments that, you know, you've invested into Patrick Williams, right? You invested the $90 million into him, which really, as the salary cap goes up, it could be a steal if he turns the corner and you start to see major growth here, because I think that eventually those are going to be that contract is essentially what you're going to pay like a role player down the line. But anyhow, at this point in time, the Chicago Bulls are invested in him. And this is one of the things that I was trying to bring up about yesterday's video about LaVine coming off the bench. You know, regardless of how it looks, the Chicago Bulls are invested into these players. And I think that they're going to give them every chance possible. And I think Patrick Williams is going to get every chance possible to succeed. So that means, yes, if it comes down to him starting over Buzelis to start off, absolutely. However, I think that one of the things that has been talked about with Buzelis is that his confidence, his motor, his energy, like it's going to be hard for Patrick Williams or whoever's in the way to keep Buzelis out of the lineup, because I think he's just that competitive. I think that he is absolutely going to push whoever is in front of him. And so I don't think it's going to take long for him to crack the lineup. As long as Billy Donovan gives him that chance, as long as he continues to come in and compete at a high level like he's shown us thus far in the Summer League and also too in the G League last season, I think that we're looking at a young man that absolutely is going to get some good usage, right? And so that leads us to the last part of the video. The one thing that they talked about is they were saying that he's going to be a secondary scorer as far as the usage, which suggests that, he's probably going to, he's definitely not going to be the primary scorer. So he's going to be in situations where more than likely he's coming off the bench. And I think when you're coming off the bench as a rookie, the first thing you probably want to do is you want to defend at a high level, which I think he can get to it. As far as him being confident to take shots and get to the lane, I don't think he's going to shy away from that. But for him to be the rookie of the year, I think his usage rate is going to have to go up. And that would suggest that LaVine is moved at some point, or they allow him to get more looks at the basketball. And so, that's just him having the basketball in his hands, either on the break, him initiating offense, him coming off staggers, getting more touches. Like, he's going to have the basketball in his hands. So when you look traditionally at some of the rookies that have won the Rookie of the Year award, you're looking at some of the numbers that they put up. Traditionally, they put up at least 20 points or so. There are some circumstances where there haven't been 20-point scores. Shout out to Elton Brand and Steve Francis, who were co-Rookie of the Years. I loved Elton Brand when he was with us. Hated it when he left. But anyhow, you're looking at what they generally did from a field goal percentage and what they were able to do scoring wise. And, Matas, referring to him, what he did in the summer league, he did show that he could put up 20 points a game. Can he get a double-double? I'm not sure. Can he get double figures in assist? He should, but I'm not sure if that's necessarily going to be his calling card early. I think that he's going to be more of a scorer and a rebounder. So you're hoping that he can come out here and get you 20 and 11. But again, I think it's going to come down to usage here. So that leads us to the final part and the questions really. What do you guys think? Do you think that Matas Buzelis is going to win the Rookie of the Year award? Do you think that Zach Edey, who was left off the list here, would actually snag this award? Or do you feel like, it doesn't matter because the Chicago Bulls are not going to give Matas Buzelis the minutes that he would need to get to this award anyhow? So anyway, let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments, even though we're talking about the Rookie of the Year award for our rookie that we drafted at 11 that, he hasn't officially played in a game just yet, only the Summer League. I'm still saying go Bulls. And as usual, man, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.